Blood box time. We are back. Session number 8. Today is chest and triceps. Very pressing focused, purely because all I have in here is free weights and I have little to no choice what I do. Good and a bad thing. So either I do it or I don't is the mentality at the moment, until I get some new stuff for in here, because that will happen. But yeah, very pressing focused workout today. I'm not going to spend too much time on the intro, just because I'm in a mood to lift some weights. So I'm just going to warm up and get straight into it, really, just because I have a topic that I know I want to discuss, which I always usually do. I always discuss a topic before I start my workout, because like I said, it gives me time for my brain to think and process what I've said, and to see if I've had any more thoughts on it while I've been working out. But I'm just going to let those ideas fester and not talk just yet. I'll leave it towards the end, because like I said, I just want to crack on today. Get some weight moving and get a good solid workout in, and another brick on that wall. But the topic, I will say the topic of discussion. The topic of discussion at the end is going to be about the 3 daily wins that you need to make every day successful, to allow every day to become a success, to become a day that you can look back and analyse and be honest with yourself that it was a successful day, and the 3 main wins that you need to call your day successful. So I'll let you have a think about that and see if you can figure out what they are, and just have a think about the wins that you pick up on a day-to-day basis, and how you analyse your day and what went well, and try and apply it and see if you can figure out what wins occur for you the most on a daily basis. With that being said, I'm just going to jump straight into warming up. Like I said, I'm ready to lift today. I'll start out with some incline bench and just progress from there, see what feels good, see what comes to my mind. But chest and triceps is today. So yeah, warm up, just get it cracking. No time to waste. Never time to waste. Don't waste a fucking second. Come on in! Oof! 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 One more! Damn, that was a fucking grinder. Holy shit. Woo! I would up the weight to a weight where I can get about 8 reps, but I don't have 2.5s in here, otherwise I would add them. And adding another 2 5s on that would be borderline 4 to 6 reps. We don't want to be doing that. I'd say 10 for a top set, 8 to 10 minimum. 8 to 10 is where it's at. Anything lower just gets more strength gain, more for strength, rather than hypertrophy and aiming to build muscle. Just putting on a few extra little plates here and there plays with your mind. You know, it makes you start to think, can I get this? Can I go there? You know, if you're staying at the same weight all the time, then your mind is staying in the same place. And if you're putting on the weight, progressively overloading,
the same will happen to your mind, because each time you add on another plate, you have to develop your mind to be able to go to that place to lift that weight. You know, it's not just adding another plate and gaining the strength. It's taking your mind there, being able to put yourself in that mental space of, I'm adding another plate, taking your mind to that place to allowing your body to lift that weight. Because I am a big advocate for where the mind goes, the body will follow. And I think, and that is how I approach everything throughout life. Is I approach it mentally first. If you can win something mentally first, your body will just follow, you know, because nothing is more powerful than this. So that's just a little thing to think about when you're training, you know. It's not just adding the weight, it's making your mind develop as well, you know, because it's all well chucking another plate on if you can't convince yourself that you can lift it. Let's just get another set going. Let's go again, come on! Come on! One more! Oh, fuck. Come on, man. You've got to take it there with yourself. The most important conversation you have is the one you have with yourself. Only you can understand yourself. No one will truly understand you in and out besides yourself. A lot of people will ask different people for advice, but only you can give you the best advice. Half the time you already know. You already know what the right decision is, you know what the right advice is, you know what the right actions are. Some of you just need that third party perspective. Someone else to chip in on your thoughts, to take action when you already know what you need to do. So you should just fucking do it anyway, because you'll get more satisfaction out of achieving something if you were the only one that put the thought into it. You were the only one that invested in it, that believed in it. So put more faith in yourself. Believe what you can achieve and achieve what you believe. Let's hit another fucking set. Come on! And again! I'm off! Woo! That's it. That's how it's done. New angle. Interesting angle. It's like a suction cup camera mount, and you can suction it on glass and mirrors. Anyway, enough yapping. The next exercise, haven't figured it out, but let's just jump straight to it. No messing around. I'll do one more and then I'll move on. This exercise is more just about keeping the weight on the muscle and stretching and squeezing as much as I can, rather than putting it under a heavy load. You know, because flies doesn't take that much to rip your chest to shreds, as long as you keep that tension on the muscle. So yeah, last one and then next exercise. Last one, come on. Fucking. Woo! It's not heavy, but it works. It's hard when you go to something more squeezing and stretch focused to act like it's not heavy, you know, to disregard the weight and let your ego and strength take over, because with certain exercises you can make it feel a lot heavier than it actually is, purely by only using the muscle, because that is all bodybuilding is activating the muscle, stretching and squeezing it, you know, with load. And certain exercises like that, you do not need a lot of weight to stimulate hypertrophy, for it to be effective, to stimulate muscle growth, you know, because with an exercise like that, it is so easy for different muscles to take over because of the position that you're in. You know, you've got your shoulders, your elbows, your biceps, all working to stabilize that weight if it's too heavy, you know. And as soon as it becomes too heavy for your muscle to handle, they will take over. So if you're going too heavy on an exercise like this, it gets to a point where there's a diminishing return to how much you're actually working the muscle that you're trying to stimulate, you know. So just think about that when you go into exercises that are don't need a lot of load to stimulate the muscle. You know, you see so many people doing it with small muscle groups like biceps and triceps. So many people just want to push down the stack and think that that's what's going to stimulate the muscle the most. Yes, heavy weight stimulates the muscle, but if you're just using your fucking elbows and shoulders to push the weight down and not your actual triceps, then it gets to a diminishing return, man. Same with biceps. You see so many people just hurling the weight up and letting it down because they think that you know, the most damage is on the way down. And yes, it is on the way down, but you want to be able to control the weight throughout the whole movement and just keep that load on the bicep or on the muscle that you're working, because that is how you stimulate it properly and not injure yourself. That is the main thing, you know. We're in this for the long run. I don't know about you lot, but I'm definitely in it for the long run. So the more that I can not put myself at risk of injury and stimulate the muscle, the better. That's all bodybuilding is, you know. People overcomplicate it to make it interesting. It's a boring fucking sport. Like, I don't think it's boring because I love it. It's my passion. It's what I love doing. You know, if I had nothing in the world but this, I would be the happiest man alive. But in a generalized aspect, it is a boring fucking sport. All you do is pick up a weight and move it from A to B. Again, 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 again. That is all it is until you can't anymore. That's the only thing bodybuilding is just moving a heavy weight from point A to point B. Yes, there is ins and outs of it and more entwined and technique, structure, workouts. The list goes on and on and on. In a general point of view, it is a boring sport. And people try to overcomplicate it because it is boring. They must think there's no way that this can be so simple if someone can look like that. That you have to be doing some crazy stuff to look like that. You know, you have to be like back in the day, Arnold, working out 2, 3, 4 hours a day at a time. No, it is just boring, monotonous and repetitive. But you just have to be in that mindset of every day or every workout, do it again and again and again and again and again. And every time you do it, it adds up. But that is it. People overcomplicate it for the sake of it not being complicated. Doesn't make sense to me, makes sense to them. I just want to get gains. You just got to look at it from a logical view. This is how you do it. This is how you progress. Pursue it. You know, that's all it is. So that was the last set of that, yeah. Let's move on. Rest pause, rest pause. Give me a minute. Oh, come on. Oh. Ah. Woo. Oh yeah, that's it. Rest pause, man. Rest pause. If you don't know about that, especially with movements where, like pressing movements where you know you can get one more, but a little bit of rest is needed. And it fucks you up. You will definitely feel it if you A, either haven't done it before, or B, haven't done it in a while. And especially on a movement like that, where your muscle does actually give out. You know mentally that you can get a few more. It's just re-racking it, giving yourself a second, and then pumping out some more. Like you saw then, 5 extra reps. How the fuck are you going to think after I racked it that I could have got 5 more? I couldn't have. Give yourself a couple seconds and go again, and it still counts as one set. And I love it. It's a very good way to just put something different in your workouts and hit that muscle just that little bit harder. So if you haven't already, give it a go. It's very good, especially on machine-based exercises or any exercise that you can easily set back up and get back into motion again. Close grip bench, didn't explain it, but moved on to triceps. Starting out close grip bench, and I'll just finish off with some easy bar overhead. But don't come at me for the weight, alright?
Don't come at me for the weight. I haven't had anyone come at me for the weight, but you know, not everyone's used to seeing natural people now. Everyone's used to seeing geared up superhumans, close grip benching 500 pounds, 350 pounds, you know. Man, cut me some slack. Not enough naturals are promoted, you know. It's rare to see nowadays, so don't come at me for the weight, because you see how fucking hard I train in here. It's the blood box for a reason, and no session is left with an ounce left in me. I always give it 110%. So don't come at me for the weight. Focus on your weight. Focus on yourself. Every time someone says something about me and the way I'm progressing, where I'm at, you know, sometimes you might be behind someone on something, someone might be better than you at something, and if those types of people give you negative comments or say something bad about where you're at or talk down on you, you know, and the way that I go about people like that, and if they do say a negative comment or you get a comment on your post or someone said something to you, the way that I react to it, I always say the same thing: stop watering the wrong seeds. Stop watering the wrong seeds, you know, because a reaction like that to someone that has a negative comment, I have never ever had someone say something back to that. You know, they've never had anything to say because it's a comment that makes them think about themselves. If they're watering the wrong seeds, they know damn well what's going to happen to them. You know, that negative comment, that they're only putting it upon themselves. By watering the wrong seeds, it implies that they're manifesting their own negativity and that it is only just going to root back to them, you know. They're going to infect themselves. So yeah, let's hit another set. Another rest pause. Give it a minute. That's where it's at. That is where it's at. If you wonder why I say that all the time, that's where it's at. Is because moments like that, sets like that, the very last rep is where you find it. You find yourself, you find your mind, you come to terms with the real you. And that is where it's at. You know, nothing will make you find your real true self in the toughest moments of life. You know, I'm not saying that a close grip bench set is the toughest moment of my life, but it's those moments where you have those constant split-second decisions, you know. Do I give up? Oh, I just put the weight down. Do I give up? Do I stop here? You know, every time you have a split-second decision. You come to the terms with the real you, the real person inside your mind that is telling you to stop, telling you to stop these things. It's hurting, it's painful, you can't do this. That is the real you. And the reason why I say that's where it's at, you know, is because it's moments like that where you find yourself. You know, you have to dig deep, dig into that mind, battle your mind, you know, have that conversation with yourself, that split-second decision. Make it over and over and over again. You know, don't give in to yourself. Don't give in to the real you, because the real you is born to give up. Everyone's born to give up, born to give into comfort, born to say no, born to be scared, born to be afraid. It's the fact that we develop these things and develop our mind to overcome the harsh reality of the world. So that is the reason why I say that's where it's at. Because with weightlifting and bodybuilding, those final reps, that's where it's at, man. That's where you're going to find yourself. That's where you're going to come to terms with the real you that's telling you you can't get one more rep. You got to fight him with all your power to get those last few reps and really take it there, because that is where it's at. I'm going to do, I lied, I'll do one more here because that felt good. So one more and then last exercise. Let's do it. Oh yeah. Let's go again. Woo! I think that is it. Session 8 is a wrap. Yeah, that was the last set. Woo! It's good not having a lot of variety, because it saves me having to think about what I'm going to do. You know, when you're in a gym and you've got a lot of shit around you, a lot of machines and stuff, cables, your mind gets clogged up with what you want to do, what exercise feels great, oh, what do I usually do, what haven't I done for a while. Whereas when I'm in here, man, it's either 1 or 2 exercises I have to choose between, sometimes even 1. So I get the upper hand with being able to not have the choice, I guess.
it does come with a benefit, you know. It's that either you do it or you don't mentality, and I feel like that is progressing as I'm in here. You know, coming down here every time, seeing the same dumbbells, seeing the same plates, seeing the same bar over and over and over again. It's not going to change. You just have to fucking do it again and again and again. So that's really helping me push my mind at the moment. Just being stuck in the same place, that monotonous grind day after day. Hopefully the channel starts getting a bit of traction. You know, I'm going to keep posting content, keep things up. Because if you don't know, this is supposed to be a brand, clothing brand, a brand in general. I have so many ideas and things that I want to act on with Life Behind Bars. I just started these videos for me to sell myself as a person to you guys, because if the brand that you're buying from doesn't have a relatable face and a relatable person behind it, then what are you buying really? You know, you're just buying the logo, and I've never really liked that. So I've always liked the idea of building a narrative and being the face of your brand and selling a lifestyle, you know, because Life Behind Bars is a lifestyle, and I will begin to elaborate on that in future videos and future content as things pick up and moves start to be made. But yeah, I'm not going to touch too much on that because that's a rabbit hole we can go down. I will at some point, but yeah, I'm just going to tidy this up, session 8 done, and discuss the topic that I said before the workout. You know, didn't forget about that, don't worry. Yeah, I'll touch on that quickly because I need to go get a meal in. So yeah, tidy up and then we'll wrap up. Blood box is tidy, you know, clean space, clean mind. I've always lived by that. If you can have everything clean and in uniform, in check, respect your place and your place will respect you, I believe. If you're one of them fuckers that goes around the gym leaving shit, you know, not being respectful, not putting your plates back, leaving attachments everywhere and whatnot, man, you need to sort that shit out, because that says a lot about you. You know, you're not just leaving some shit around, you know. That says a lot about you and who you are. I can tell what your room looks like by how you leave a machine after you're done with it at the gym. So if you're one of those people, think very carefully about how you leave your shit. Session 8 is a wrap. Very good session. Good exercises, good intensity, you know, ticked off, another brick on the wall, as we say. But yeah, less topic of discussion. Didn't forget about it. I never will forget the topic of discussions because they run through my mind all day. You know, I have a specific notes tab on my phone. If whenever I think about something that I can talk about on here, bang, straight into the notes, and I'll have a look and think about what I want to talk about in today's video. So today's topic of discussion is, like I said, the 3 daily wins that you need to succeed every day, right? That consists of a physical win, a mental win, and a spiritual win. Those 3 things. Physical win, mental win, spiritual win. Why those 3 things, you might ask? A physical win every day. It doesn't matter what type of physical exercise it is, as long as it is challenging to your body, it puts you out of breath, it works your muscle hard, you know, whether it's weight training, boxing, fuck it, tennis, basketball, anything that puts your body in a state of hard work and that gets your heart rate up, that really makes you work hard. A physical win is so important because, you know, no matter what it is, in what aspect, as long as it's challenging to your body, you will continue to grow. You know, it will put your body under that stress. And I find that when you physically challenge yourself, it humbles you throughout your day. It gives you that sense of
you've put some effort into something and it's built your mindset and it's humbled you, it's brung your levels down to be at that state of, especially as a man with, you know, testosterone and high energy kicking around. If you can exert yourself into something physical and have it physically challenge your body, it will just help your mind be at that clear state. So that's the physical win. Now the mental win ties very, very closely to the physical win, okay? In some aspects, you can get a mental win out of the physical win, but you have to understand the fine line between the two. A mental win, the way that I like to see it is, like I said earlier, about those 1 second decisions, you know? It's when you win mentally, it's more so yourself overriding the thought to give in, the thought to give up. That overcoming of that sense of fear and doubt and dissatisfaction that you want to give up and give in. And by overcoming that and those thoughts, that is a mental win, you know. The way I approach my mental win is, it's going to sound very cliche, a cold shower, you know. And it's not the actual coldness itself, because once you get past a certain level of coldness, your body adapts to it and it turns numb in a sense. You know, you'll find that if you've done ice baths before. It's the very first seconds, you know, even 30 seconds that you put your head under that cold shower and you close your eyes and you are constantly fighting that 1 second decision every second, and your brain is telling you, get out, get out, get out, it's cold, get out, because you're not supposed to be in a situation like that. The brain is made for comfort. It's not made for adverse situations, to be under a lot of pressure. So it will constantly tell you every second, if you're doing something you don't want to do, to get out. And if you can assess the situation, you know, cold shower, you're not going to fucking die. So if you can put yourself in a situation like that, and be under cold water, that is the most cliche thing that you can use and get a mental win out of. You know, putting yourself under that cold water and fighting that every split second decision that's telling you to get out. It's cold, you're freezing, you don't want to be in here, get out, get out, get out. If you can stay in there for long enough, those thoughts will subside, and those thoughts subsiding are you winning over your mind. So that is the mental win, and that is how I go about it. So those two tie in very closely, very, very closely. And like I said, you can get a mental win out of a physical win as well, because like lifting weights, it's physically challenging, but those last few reps, you can mentally win, and they tie very closely. But those two, very close. And the last one, a spiritual win. This one has a lot more depth, and I'd like to think about it a bit more, to have a bit more to say, but I can't. I just have to say it now. There are other additions that I will have at some time that I will think about, because a spiritual win is very deep rooted, and I would have a lot to say on it if I had a bit more time to think about it. But the borderline basis of a spiritual win is, in my opinion, something that gives off a good aura around you, that is has a positive impact not only to you but to those around you, you know. And it can be something as very minor as just complimenting someone, doing something nice for someone, helping someone in need. You know, you see someone on the street that needs help, you help them. Little things like that can be classed as a spiritual win, because it's not only benefiting you and your mind and knowing that you've done something good, it impacts those around you, you know. And it's more or less something that has a knock-on effect, that is putting out a good momentum into the universe and out onto other people, and sort of manifesting that high spirit level and that high level mindset that you are a positive person and that you are here to do good to people, to push a good narrative and believe what you believe in. But that's just a very borderline brief summary of a spiritual win. And you know, the it goes deeper and deeper. I could get more into it, but I just need time to think about it. You know, it could be spiritual in terms of if you're a man of faith and you're devoted to your faith and you put your time and effort into that and developing that can be very spiritual. But more or less, it's just pushing out positiveness into the world and doing good deeds that reap good rewards. That is how you gain a spiritual win. It's more or less about the others around you and how it impacts them more so than yourself, because that is what really pushes a momentum of positiveness. So yeah, that's basically the 3 wins that you need to make every day as successful as you can, as to gain the most out of it, get the upper hand, extract the most information out of. And if you can do that every day and realize and assess it, you know, it's all good thinking about these things. If you can actually analyze and tick off these things in your day-to-day life, it will just put you in a upward spiral of progression and growth. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that's, like I said, I could talk for a lot longer about that, but I just wanted to get it off my chest because I feel like that is very good at the moment to live by, especially with a lot of negative stuff going on. It's good to have daily tasks to focus on and to tick off for yourself and for others, because like I said, it will just push on a positive momentum outward. Yeah, I think that's all I've got to say on that. Session 8 ticked off, another brick on the wall, as we say. Good session, it's in the books. I'm going to keep pushing out content, pushing this stuff out, because, you know, I believe what I can achieve and I want to achieve what I believe. So nothing's going to stop me. I'm going to keep pushing this out and building this brand as you know it. And yeah, that's it. Session 8 is a wrap. I will see you in session number 9.